Joey for Witches of the Moon, your Tuesday host, and today's subject is paganism and children, which I don't know how much I'm going to be able to offer on this subject because I don't have children. I'm going to offer my theories and opinions, my best intentions, and that's all I can really offer you this week. Whilst I brought my sisters up, I haven't brought up children, and therefore my experience in this is limited to experiences that I had as a child, experiences I've had where I've sort of helped with other people's children, including my sisters, and that's about it really, unfortunately. So I don't know how long this is going to be. And everything is just my opinion, and I worry slightly that this video is just going to be, people are going to ignore me because I haven't got children. I've come up against that barrier before, as if it somehow means I don't understand because I don't have children of my own, even though I did bring up my sisters. I've had that sort of stuff said before, so we'll see. When it comes to children and religion, I don't agree with teaching them one thing. I hope very much when I have children to bring them up in the spirit of learning and questioning the world around them in every sense of the word. I want my children someday to think critically, to think for themselves, and to make their own decisions, particularly regarding something as personal as spirituality. I don't know if there's a set age where I would think that is appropriate to introduce children to religion and spirituality, because it's different from person to person, and children are small people. They will grow and blossom and follow their own life path. I know that when I was at school, the RE lessons were very Christianized and we barely touched on anything else, and it used to irritate me because I would have liked to have learned about other religions and other ways of life. It wasn't a required subject when I was at school, and it became a required subject after I left. I don't agree with that particularly, especially if it's not going to offer a wide range of information as to regards every spirituality. Spirituality and religion and such like is a difficult one, because if you teach your child that one way is correct, you could be damaging your relationship with them for someday when they don't agree with you anymore. You could be stopping them from experiencing different spiritual paths, and that is just how I feel on the subject. I would want any children of mine to learn about all different paths. I'd want to sit down with them and be like, this is what this believes, this is what this believes, this is what book this spirituality follows, and such like. I find this difficult to even go into at length. That's just how I would want it to be. I would never tell my child they were wrong in following any spiritual path. I'd want them to explore it for themselves. I might ask them why they wanted to follow that. I'd want to hear their reasons. I wouldn't be best pleased if, oh, I heard about it in school and therefore it's the right one, because if that happened I would be hugely annoyed at the school. And hopefully I can teach my children to be discerning enough before they get to that point where they should question everything. If they're anything like me, they'll be argumentative little buggers and will do it anyway, so... Spirituality, as far as I'm concerned, is a life path and a choice, and allowing children to grow and blossom on their own in that way is the only way I can see that makes any sense to me. I don't believe in teaching one way or the highway with spirituality, because I don't believe in it for adults. I don't think there is only one path to walk. I've said before, we're all walking our own path in the same direction, so I don't see where all the intolerance comes from half the time. And that's something I would try and instill in my children, that the negative repercussions of intolerance towards other religion and spiritual paths, that's something I would want to teach them. The difference between allowing to live and let live and being dogmatic and being intolerant of other people. And I think this is an important lesson for children across the board. I don't want my children to ever be racist. I don't want my children to be homophobic. I don't want my children to be intolerant of other religious creeds. I don't want them to be anything like that. I want them to be open-minded, and how is best to approach that is going to be a learning process for me going forward. I don't think there is one right method of helping your children to be discerning, open-minded and loving. I think, to be honest, most children are open-minded and loving until somewhere along the line somebody teaches them not to be. It's a very difficult question for me to answer because I haven't done it yet. And that's, I think, about as much as I can give you on this subject. I want someday for my children to follow their own hearts and minds, and that's all I can ask of them. I will talk to them about it. I will introduce them to every different path. It's my intention to celebrate all the different holidays with children. For example, I would celebrate Samhain and Halloween. I would quite happily celebrate Mexican Day of the Dead. I would quite happily celebrate all different types of religion, and just introduce them to different festivals and things, and bring a sense of joy into every single religious type holiday, and explain to them why they're doing it. You know, that, oh, this is the spiritual holiday of such and such, so we're going to have a go at that and see what that's like for them, so you've experienced that. And I would do that for all spiritual paths for my children. I think that would be a really great idea. Oh, excuse me. To embrace the really positive sides of things and show them all the different this, that and the other, you know, what foods, what celebrations, what decorations, what the meaning behind each thing was, and why different places in the world did things differently. I think it's important to do that. So that's going to be it from me today. I don't feel I can go on in great length like I normally do, in great depths, because I'm not there yet. So I hope this was perhaps not as informative as some of the other people will be, because they have children and have lived that road. And until I have lived that road, I don't think I can offer any more advice on it. So I'm just going to respectfully step back and allow the others to do it this week. Many blessings.